Yo, what is going on, you obsolete Onyx? Today, going to be playing some games with one of the new V-Union cards. We're going to be checking out Zacian V-Union in this video, and I'll be coming at you guys with the rest of the V-Unions, in future videos. We're taking a look at the Mewtwo and the Greninja. We're taking a look at the Zacian in this one, and the big part about the Zacian is this attack, the Master Blade, for 340 damage for 4 energy, and then we discard 3 energy, but we use it as like a closing attack in most situations when we're able to get it set up. And, take that last knockout on a VMAX or something to draw our last 3 prize cards, or pretty much anything that's in our opponent's active, because nothing really survives 340 damage except for like an Eternatus VMAX with like a big charm, which isn't really a thing, so it's not something we really have to worry about. So the rest of the attacks on the Zacian, which I don't think I've actually used any of the other attacks now that I'm thinking about it, besides the 340 damage attack. But we got this 150, and then the defending Pokemon's attacks do 150 less damage next turn for double metal colorless. 200 for double metal colorless, and then we can use the Union Gain. I've yet to use this attack as well. For a colorless energy, we can attach 2 metal energy cards from our discard pile to this Pokemon, and that is the Zacian V Union. But now the big question is, how do we set it up? We've got 4 cards to make it work, and they all have to be in our discard pile. So let's take a look at that real fast. So one of the big things with V-Unions is it's really hard to find them, actually. You can't Quick Ball for them because they're not a basic. You can't Evolution Incense for them because they're not an evolution. They're a Pokemon card. So we can use stuff like Great Ball, and then the big card that we use to help find them. After we've gotten that first piece into our discard pile, we can use Familiar Bell to find the rest of the pieces, or some of the other pieces from there. So the Familiar Bell and the Great Balls are how we find the Zacian pieces, besides just drawing into them. And then, but once we get them, we have to discard them. So we got Articuno V, Galarian Articuno V in here with that Reconstitution ability that allows us to discard 2 cards from our hand and then draw a card. So we use this to get the pieces into the discard pile. And then from there, we still have to set up the Master Blade attack, which costs 4 energy. And sure, we do play Metal Saucers, so we could go like bench it, or bring it out of the discard pile, put it on the bench, attach triple Metal Saucer, but that's a lot to have in one turn. So we actually play a Bronzong line in here, a 3-2 Bronzong line in here with the Metal Transfer that lets us move Metal Energy around our Pokemon any way we want. So if we already have energy established and set up in play, we move that energy to our Zacian V Union once we set it up after getting into our discard pile, and then get off that big Master Blade attack, or maybe one of the other attacks. Usually we're just using Master Blade, but some of the other attacks could happen, I guess. And besides that, we got 2 Crobat in here as well as other Pokemon for some draw support alongside a Zacian, 2 Zacian, 1 Zamazenta. So we have some other attackers in here that we can use early on in the game, and Zamazenta is really nice with that Dauntless Shield to potentially slow down our opponent. So not too much else to talk about. Once again, the usual suspects in the supporter slots: Moss, Marnie, Research, and 11 energy, some air balloons, some switches, so we can, Brave Blading, move our Pokemon around, so we can attack with other stuff as well. We got 3 Crystal Caves in here, doing some healing, never hurts, and then also a counter to Path to the Peak is really nice, because we do have a lot of abilities in here that are on V Pokemon, the Articuno, the Intrepid Sword, the Crobat, and so on. And then 1 Tool Scrapper in here as well, because Brave Blade is really good, but when we're up against like a Suicune or a Mirror Match and they got a Cape of Toughness, it's not as good. So still need that for the early game to help us get some early knockouts before we can get into that Master Blade. And this is my build for the Zacian V Union. Before we get into the game, I just want to give a shout out and let you guys know, actually, more so than anything, that I do create content over on channel Fireball. So if you guys haven't checked that out before, you should go check it out. I do a power rankings video, and most recently I do a power rankings video every week on Mondays, and most recently I put out a video where I went really in depth on some gameplay on a Suicune gameplay. So you guys should go check out those videos over there on channel Fireball. Link for that in the description, so give it a click, check it out. Let's get some games with Zacian V Union, and yeah, try and do 340 damage. All right, we're getting into another one. Yeah, that last game really showed how good Zacian still is by itself. Right? You don't even need the Zacian V Union, especially, you can't really use it all the time because you prize all the pieces. This hand, not good. Let me tell you. Top deck away from greatness. Intrepid Sword, maybe? No, but the Articuno's not bad. We're up against a Cinccino deck. I feel like I'm not going to need the Crystal Cave too much in this one. I guess we'll find out for sure. Kind of don't want to whiff an attachment for turn, though, is what I'm thinking. All right, pass. Okay, so obviously not great still, but it's just not great still. But I've seen worse, I guess. I don't really know what to say here. Yeah, obviously our hand is not great. Looks like we're up against a Rapid Strike Urshifu with Cinccino. Don't see that all the time. Yeah, Rapid Strike, Urshifu, Cinccino, and they did hook us up with a Marnie, so big shout out to my opponent on this one for sure. That's very helpful. Thanks a ton. And and we still don't have anything. We did draw one of the pieces, so we could discard that, but apparently we were, you know, if we we're going to sit here and reconstitute a couple turns in a row, we still weren't going to be getting anything. There's another piece, so it's nice to get rid of 2 pieces. I'm not going to lie, that's nice. It'd be more nice to see a draw supporter. Still, I'm all right. Well, let's get another energy in play. If we do set up the Bronzong, we will be able to metal transfer these energy off the Articuno somewhere else. But yeah, even after a Marnie, we are still struggling out here. So really hoping this, I mean, this next top deck is good, better than this. But yeah, they'll most definitely get the knockout here on my Crobat V. And then from there, who really knows? There's a Palpat for some Marnies. Hopefully they make do into a Marnie and then have to play it and, you know, help us out again. That would be very nice. I would appreciate it for my opponent. They're also rocking the Moltres here. Yeah, so here comes the KO on my Crobat. That's fine. We're still in it. This game is still winnable, believe it or not. Maybe I'm trying to convince myself a little bit of that at this point, to be honest, though. Let's see what we top deck. Another. All right, this is fine. Just gonna get rid of these 2. We're getting the pieces into the discard pile really aggressively at the very least. And Familiar Bell, we can use to get a Crobat. Okay, like I said, we're still in it. Get the Crobat, Air Balloon, Crobat for 5. Okay, still cooking here. Bronzong down. Can Metal Saucer to the Bronzor. We can Familiar Bell. Get out that last Zacian piece, actually. Grab that to the hand. Put the Air Balloon here. Could attach for turn, but I think I'd rather wait to maybe even attach to the Zacian. Yeah, so we can go get the Zacian into play. Perfect. Nice, nice. Attach to it, and we can actually go Bronzor, so that way they can't KO 2 Bronzor. We can move all the energy off this Articuno next turn to the Zacian V Union, and then we're going to start swinging. Could scrap our way their Air Balloon, so they can't do like a Bird Keeper, switch back to the active kind of play. I kind of like that. Kind of don't hate not doing that. And just hold the Scrapper. But, you know, I'm down to go ahead and scrap that. And, yeah, let's see what my opponent's got. But yeah, triple Bronzor out now. We can get to that Bronzong next turn, potentially. And Familiar Bell is also active for the Bronzong, because there's one in the discard pile. And I know the other one, I saw the other one was in the deck, so it's in there. We're getting Marnied, which is also great, because the hand... I mean, there was stuff in it, but there wasn't like really anything we were trying to keep around. There's nothing great. Oof. Researching away 2 boss. I don't love it, but I guess that's maybe just going to have to be something we're okay with. Here comes a Goon from my opponent. Don't see what that's going to really do. Actually, they're going to maybe nope, they're going to go ahead and make do away a Dark Energy. I was wondering if they're going to make do away the Goon, because I didn't see how much value. I didn't see what value really was coming out of having the Goon around. But no, Moltres getting set up for my opponent. Let's see if they go with the VMAX Rapid Flow here, or what they're going to go with here, to be honest. I have no clue what they're going to go with here. Yeah, losing both my boss. I don't like that. So that's like, the research is great, but I don't know. I don't, like, why? You know what I'm saying? Why do we have the both boss in the hand? All right, here comes the VMAX Rapid Flow. What are they going to hit, though? What are they going to hit here? They take out a Bronzor that does remove an energy from play, so that kind of makes sense. They're going for my active and my Crobat. Oh, they do have 4 prize cards left, so this actually makes a ton of sense. That actually makes a ton of sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to use it, and then research. I could have actually used reconstitute there. Got the Bronzong though, so this is what we needed. This is exactly what we needed here. Got a Metal Saucer. Got an energy. I could play a Great Ball. It doesn't really make a whole ton. Let's go ahead and play the Great Ball. Get the Zamazenta. Thin that out of the deck. Quick Ball the Zamazenta. No, but this play does make a whole ton of sense for my opponent. The biggest thing here is we're out of boss, so we can't like chase something on the next turn of my opponents. Otherwise, we'd be in like a really good spot, I feel like. But I'm going to go ahead and really load up this Zacian V Union here. We're almost in a really sick spot. Unfortunately, we're just a little bit behind. So we're done moving energy around. And then we can use that reconstitute. I'm going to get rid of these two. I think keeping the Marnie around is going to probably be the better. And I don't think we're going to need another attacker besides this Zacian. So just going to load it all up, and here we go. Master Blade 340, 1-hit KO on the Urshifu VMAX. And if we had a boss this turn to potentially be able to chase, I don't know, another VMAX, we just win the game, or to be able to maybe target something down that would, like, our opponent could utilize, you know, help them set up, because they are definitely in a winning spot at this point, because they can kind of just, you know, eventually get into the, well, they might just even have it. They're just like promoting the V here. So if they have VMAX plus you know, the VMAX plus the energy switch, or maybe even a Raihan. If they play Raihan, they could Raihan as well. Yeah, they're thinning out here, so they're digging for the game here, because all I have to do is KO my Crobat, KO my Articuno, and we will be losing here. But if they whiff, we still have a chance. We got the Marnie to potentially disrupt a pretty big hand of our opponent, because I'm sure they're going to be building up a lot of things. And even if they don't get to play this turn, they probably have some of the pieces, so they just need the rest of them. So if we Marnie them, they lose some of the pieces, and now they need to go find some more. And this Urshifu could get stuck in the active as well. Like, they may do twice and just don't draw a whole ton. If we just knock this thing out, how many Metal Saucer? We have 2 Metal Saucer left, so we do have 2 Master Blades left to work with here. Here comes the E-Switch. Here comes the Rapid Strike Energy. Just 100 Furious Blows, though. So if we heal 30, we'll be at 200 HP left. This is doable. We can work with this for sure. Crystal Cave, heal that 30 damage. That's huge. Now we have 200 HP. This thing only does 190, and they discarded their Zigzagoon. They might play 2 Zigzagoon, so that would be a little bit scary. So hopefully they don't play 2 Zigzagoon. Please don't be playing 2 Zigzagoon. Okay, Marnie here. We still need to find some Metal Saucers. Those are still something we need to find. None of this is Metal Saucer. Do need an energy on the next turn as well, though. So we do want to keep an energy around. Want to keep a switch card just in case they try and get tricky with like a boss on a Bronzong. So I think we're going to go with this, reconstitute these 2. We still want to be digging through the deck as much as possible here. That's a quick ball. All right. Oh, because we can't KO with that. Yeah, Master Blade for the KO. 3 more energy of ours hit the discard pile, but we get this knockout. And if we get a knockout next turn, we win the game. We should attack one more time. We do need Metal Saucer. So if there's any prize, please don't be the last prize card. All right, well, now we're just hoping there's none prize. Because we can't see that prize card. We just can't see that. Yeah, but if they hit us with the Moltres, we only need to do the 200 damage attack. So they can't actually hit us with Moltres here. Well, they could, but then if we hit the Metal Saucer. Okay, Marnie from our opponent. It's actually a good thing. Because we get to see more of our deck. And actually, if there's a Marnie in this draw, or double Metal Saucer, but we still need an energy. Oh no, we need an energy here still. So we need to find an energy now. We have, how many energy do I play? I think I play 11. So I have 3 energy left. So decent odds to top deck 1, or reconstitute into it. I think that's pretty decent odds. And if they attack with Moltres, we actually just win, because then it'll only have 190 HP left. But my opponent does have to get through my Zacian, so they have to kind of make this call here. Do they attack? Do they not attack? Can they attack? If they can't attack, then they just don't attack. But I'm sure, yeah, and they're choosing not to attack here. I'm sure they see the difference here. Like, well, if I attack, they only need 1 Metal Saucer and an attachment. We do have double Metal Saucer, so we need an energy to close this one out. That's a Marnie. That's pretty good. And there is an energy on the bottom of our deck from my opponent's Marnie, but I do see like the rest of my deck, and there's what? So I think if I just go Saucer, Marnie, I will guarantee to draw into the energy here. So we're going to go with it. Saucer, Marnie. And yeah, guaranteed. I was like trying to do the math in my head. And I was like, this plus a reconstitute, that should be it. And that is it. What a game. Almost lost. The only thing we attacked with was Zacian v Union in this one. But it was not looking good off the start. Got awkward into the mid game, but we're able to close it out here with another Master Blade. Triple Master Blade. I don't think I've ever attacked with Master Blade 3 times in a row. What a crazy game. Let's see if we can't do it again in another one. Going first never hurts. So let's get it. Hopefully we can get off an Intrepid Sword. Ooh, looking maybe not, but we open the Bronzor, which is still a very good card to have out early on to get to that Bronzong turn 2. Potentially be able to utilize that. I feel like I open Bronzor a lot with this. Actually, I don't have that many basic Pokemon in this deck, though. So hopefully we get a Intrepid Sword off of this. We do. Perfect. Just what we like to see. We're up against some kind of sheep deck. Probably Rayquaza. No energy hits. Otherwise, we actually had, if we had hit an energy there, we had like the turn 2 switch, boss, attach, Brave Blade KO. That is oh so good with these Zacian decks. Getting that turn 2 Brave Blade knockout is just really strong. Not going to be able to pull it off this time, but that's fine. We see we have 1 piece for sure of our Zacian in the deck, but do we have any more pieces is going to be the question. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we have all other 3 pieces. My opponent's checking with the Evolution Incenses makes you think they probably have a Research in their hand, because you wouldn't just like play Evolution Incense and then not grab anything. Most of the time, I guess you could. Never makes a ton of sense to like play Evolution Incense and not grab anything, especially when you're just going to growl, because this means your top decks are going to be that much worse. So I didn't draw anything, but my opponent didn't do anything. So this is one of those hands where we could Marnie, and we could win this turn, but if I Marnie, I'm going to probably give my opponent a better hand. So I'm just not going to do anything. I'm going to Intrepid Sword, get an energy, and now we can win the game next turn. I see a lot of people make the mistake of playing the Marnie in this situation, and then all of a sudden you give your opponent a fresh hand. They're probably back in the game. Sure, you have a chance to win this turn, but I would need to hit Quick Ball, Energy, Metal Saucer, and not that likely to happen, I don't think. And I would need to hit a switch card afterwards. Metal Saucer, Quick Ball, and then a switch card. So I'd rather just leave my opponent with their hand that obviously wasn't very good, and then just, use Intrepid Sword, and I probably have game on the next turn anyways, and then my opponent only gets to see +1 new card instead of 4 new cards if I was to Marnie them. So more likely that they have a dead hand. Looks like they top decked a research though. Maybe we're holding out on it. I doubt they were holding out on the research there. It looks like they top decked a research, and they are playing some type of Rayquaza box. It looks like they got a Bolton in here as well as their Aura V, so it's more of a Rayquaza or Flaffy Rayquaza box. I think Rayquaza still looks like it's probably going to be the focus of their deck, but they have a couple different options here in stuff like the Bolton or the Zeraora and so on. But the real threat from them is definitely going to be this Rayquaza. That's the number one thing I'm looking out for here, because that's the only thing that can really one-hit KO a Zacian. Sure, the Cross Fist could maybe be annoying from the Zeraora, and Bolton can get up to pretty big numbers still, but you need a lot of energy in play to get there, and I don't think they're getting there anytime soon. So I think I'm going to go for a boss KO on this Rayquaza next turn, because that definitely seems like it is the biggest threat on their field. So we're going to do this. We're going to go switch. We're going to go boss. I'll take away their stadium as well. I don't think I'm going to try and get super efficient with the healing in this matchup through these, but so just getting rid of their stadium is going to be the main focus of trying to get these into play. Just keep their stadium out of play, which means, they don't get free retreat, which is better than them having free retreat. So let's do that. It looks like there was at least one piece prize as we pull that out of our prize. There's also a Metal Saucer prize. Not going to be very helpful. This will be potentially very helpful. We do need to find a best top deck would be like Articuno, to be honest, because then we can Articuno both of these away. So Quick Ball would also be pretty good, or Great Ball into Articuno. And we do play 2 Articuno, so we play quite a few. So now my opponent is starting to get cooking here, but we're still not under any real threat or pressure at all. And I have a switch in hand, so we could just like switch to Bronzor, retreat it, and then hit again. Especially if Bolton stays there active, that's a knockout. And then we can kind of play towards not even looking at using Zacian v Union, to be honest, with how far ahead we would be. And we can just look to set up another Zacian and then KO this Zeraora, and that'll just kind of be game right there. Or we could look to set up the Zacian v Union and like one-hit KO or Rayquaza VMAX even. So we'll see how the game starts to play out, but both of those are pretty solid strategies to look at here to try and take advantage of. So even actually a top deck of a basic energy wouldn't be bad, because then we could switch into the Bronzor, retreat it, and then Metal Saucer immediately and get that extra energy in play already before we would Marnie. And we are going to Marnie here. Although if we do top deck the energy, we could go boss KO the Rayquaza again, once again potentially limiting our opponent from having an opportunity to one-hit KO our Zacian, because Bolton would need 7 energy in play, and they're going to have 4 in play at the end of this turn with no lightning in the discard pile. So if I KO the Rayquaza again, to be honest, I can do that. I can actually set that up because of Metal Transfer. Actually, that's such a cute play we can pull off this turn. We're definitely going to go for that, actually. The Metal Transfer play is actually really, really cool, because we can actually go switch, Metal Transfer up, retreat, Metal Saucer, boss, knock out Rayquaza, meaning there's probably not going to be any real threat of getting one-hit KO'd next turn. And also because they haven't attacked with a Rapid Strike Pokemon yet, there's no threat of like a Cross Fist doing anything, so it really would come down to the Bolton. And we top deck an energy for turn, so that makes it a little bit, not better, but a little bit smoother. I have to do like less using of the Bronzong, which is always nice. So switch, retreat, boss the Rayquaza again. And actually, this is going to remove 2 energy from play. I didn't really actually even think about it like this, to be honest. This is going to remove 2 energy from play, so they need to get 5 energy in play this turn, which is literally impossible because they have triple Flaffy plus attachment. So unless they play Turbo Patch, it's not happening. They're not. We had 2 pieces prized. Man, if we had 3 pieces, I guess we were never getting out the Zacian Union, the Zacian v Union anyways, because all of it's prized apparently. So yeah, I guess we're never going to pull it off anyways. We're going to have to sit here and wait to pull it out of the prize cards. We might be able to get it set up next turn, but at this point, we kind of just win the game on board almost. Of course, I would love to get it set up and working, but Zacian's doing work. We don't even need the V Union in this one, it looks like. And it looks like Brave Blade from Zacian V is going to take care of it for us here. But we'll see. We'll see. We might not be able to attack again this turn, and then our opponent might be able to get the knockout on the next turn. We definitely want to like spread out our energy a little bit to be able to build up into another attacker. But yeah, we'll have our attachment for turn. We still have yet to play a draw supporter. We just bossed twice in a row. And so far, I mean, that's been enough so far. I'm not complaining. But yeah, Articuno top deck would be nice. Start to move these pieces along. But yeah, we had 2 pieces of prize, so I guess we were never, like I said, we were never really setting it up. Electrify happening again, so my opponent next turn will probably finally have enough energy in play to take the knockout. They did not use, once again, did not draw supporter. Now there's a research. I have no energy in the discard pile. But I also, this would be my second Metal Saucer I'm getting rid of anyway, so I really want to discard this. I guess I kind of do. We get to put 3 pieces in the discard pile here, which, that's, I mean, we've been talking about getting them in there. Finally, we get 3 of them in there right now. Why not? Metal Saucer. There. I could go to try and set this up, to be honest. We could go for a Crobat here and try and make that work. I don't really want to bench another Bronzor. That doesn't feel great, but I guess if I want to... No, I don't really want to bench another Bronzor. Definitely want to attach return. Just kind of thinking through everything right here. I don't really want to bench another one because it kind of seems like a waste, if you would. Wasted the bench space. So I'm just going to give up the Bronzor here. We're going to Crobat for 3, I think. We only have 1 Crobat in the deck. Maybe I don't want a Crobat, actually. We might just grab second Zacian. Throw that down. And then we're going to spread out the energy a little bit. They only have a 1-card hand, so maybe I should just have no energy on my active. Oh, wait a second. I can just, yeah, I could have just retreat. My opponent got it. I didn't see it immediately. I could just retreat to the new Zacian and Brave Blade knockout. My opponent saw it. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. Yeah, let's get into the next one. Okay, going first again. That's where we want to be. Intrepid Sword turn 1, ideally. It's a little bit harder to pull off Intrepid Sword turn 1, though, when you don't. You only play 2 of them, you know? If you play in 4, you're way more likely to open it. I mean, we do play, you know, Quick Balls and Great Balls, and Familiar Bell is not the most efficient way to find a Zacian, because that means you had a Zacian and you could have benched it, and then you chose to discard it to Familiar Bell for another one, which I guess could be correct in some situations, but it doesn't seem like to be correct very often. Yeah. All right, well, once again, we're going to get energy in play, and you saw, guys, you saw how this worked out in one of the previous games. We got loaded up all those energy on the Articuno and then was able to use the Bronzong to move the energy around. So once again, not going to whiff attachments for turn just because we're not attaching to a Zacian or a Zamazenta or the Zacian V unit. Still going to get those attachments in for turn, even if it is on the Articuno V. So still going to get those attachments in for turn. No reason to waste the energy. Just attach them. You know what I'm saying? Sobbles from my opponent. So they could be playing Suicune. They could be playing Suicune, or I was going to say literally anything, but Suicune is also one of the decks that they could be playing. So they are playing Suicune, which is a fine matchup. We needed, like, this is one of the reasons we play the Tool Scrapper, actually, which we do have in the hand right now, but we don't really want it in the hand. So we're really hoping our opponent plays a Marnie here, because, I mean, our hand's dead. But yeah, dealing with Capes of Toughness is why we play the Tool Scrapper. The Master Blade Work does get through Blade Master Work, whatever. Gets through pretty much anything. Master Blade gets to pretty much anything, you know, 340 damage, but we can't always have that set up immediately, so we can't fall too far behind, you know, in the prize exchange. So we do have to, like, play stuff like that. Okay, we're gonna go with this first. I'm gonna get rid of these 2. Try and hold on to the Tool Scrapper for as long as I possibly can. Get ourselves into a switch. Hopefully get ourselves into a Crobat here. Get the Crobat. Now we're cooking. Throw out the Stadium. Throw out the Air Balloon. Throw out the Crobat. Draw some cards. What do we get? Is it good enough? I mean, it'll do for now. Quick Ball away another piece. Grab ourselves some Intrepid Sword to Intrepid Sword with. We're going to go ahead and retreat to... Actually, this thing is quite a bit tankier. I might just leave this in the active, to be honest. Because it could be doing 120, 160 next turn. This would be like 3. Yeah, I think we're just going to keep it like this. Because I set up the Crobat. So I could send up the Crobat here, right? Like, we could do it. We could do it. But... my opponent also wouldn't KO Crobat. They'd be hitting for 120, 160, but then it's like only 1 quick shooting away from KO in the Crobat as opposed to 3 quick shootings away from KO in the Articuno V, which we might be able to do something about before it become like a problem. So I think it's definitely better to, like, kind of play it like this. Play it a little bit slower. And actually, we're in a pretty good spot to just kind of be aggressive next turn. We got the boss and the energy to go with a Brave Blade. So once again, this might be one of those games where we're just, I mean, the Zacian V Union is there, but when we're not up against a VMAX deck, or our opponent never gets the VMAXs online, not going to be as necessary to set up and utilize, right? So it's there as an option, but depending on the matchup, we want to be a little bit more focused maybe on the Zacians as opposed to the Zacian V Union. And it looks like this is going to be one of those games the way it goes, especially with how we're drawing. But here comes a Marnie, so who knows where it's going to go from here. Definitely might have some Zacian V Union on the horizon coming up soon. But our hand was really good. Like, we had the boss play, so we could even go like boss, KO Suicune, and then if they set up another Suicune and even get a toughness on that, we could have gone like switch, scrapper, attack again, which would have been pretty sick. Pretty sick for sure. But we'll see what we get off of this. Hopefully a draw supporter. We seem to be struggling. Nope, no draw supporter. Seem to be struggling and continuing to struggle to find those. They exist. Like, I play them. I know they're in the deck. But yeah, there's that Cape of Toughness. We don't have the what's it called to work with. We might just go with an Intrepid Sword again. We have a lot of energy to work with now. There's the last piece. So we have all the pieces. We've summoned the ultimate doggo for Zamazenta. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Intrepid Sword here. This time I might retreat to the Crobat here. So they're doing 120, 180, so they'd be 2 pings away from KOing this Articuno. I could bring out the Zacian V-Union now, and just load up the energy on it to kind of split up my energy a little bit here, which I'm kind of tempted to do. The only thing is they could start to quick shooting ping it ahead of time. Like, I don't want them to quick shooting ping it ahead of time, but I don't know, probably seems fine, and then like retreat to Crobat. All right, we're gonna go with this. I'll bring it out. I don't want to like put all my energy somewhere where they can kind of chase it. So like splitting it up like this seems pretty good. My opponent is just excited about me, or as I am for getting it out. What? Still? Where are my draw supporters? Where are they today? Maybe we'll top deck one. My goodness. Hopefully second Crobat isn't prized then, I guess. We could quick ball for the Crobat, draw some cards that way. But seriously, who took them? Where are they? Please give them back. Where are my draw supporters? My Marnies, my researches. They gotta be there, man. They gotta be there. I know they're there. But yeah, now we got the Zacian V-Union almost fully set up. It can't attack quite yet, but that Master Blade, I was saying Master Blade work. I don't know why. Master Blade can one-hit KO through the Cape of Toughness on the Suicune V. It's boom, done. So it doesn't really matter that they have this cape. Even if we don't have the Tool Scrapper, we can still get that one-hit KO. But yeah, hopefully Crobat is chilling in the deck, because otherwise... sheesh, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Escape Rope. You hate to see it. What do I want to let my opponent hit? I could let them hit the Zacian V-Union, to be honest. But if they have Candy Ludicolo, they're doing 180, 280. They're really getting up there. Even 300 in the next turn, even a quick shooting would be pretty devastating. I really wanted them to KO my Crobat. This is very unfortunate that they're not KOing my Crobat here. I really wanted them to KO my Crobat. I think I have to send up the Articuno V here. Yeah, we're just gonna go with it. Send up the Articuno V, because I need to have the option of the Bronzong next turn. I don't think I can like give up that option. I kind of need that. And they are only doing 180 right now, so they might whiff the knockout on my Articuno V, possibly. So if they whiff the knockout, they could definitely clean it up later with quick shootings. But you know, I get to get this energy off it maybe with a Bronzong. I also get to use a Reconstitute, which could be the difference maker between me seeing a draw supporter this turn or not. So sounds good to me for it to kind of play out this way for sure, I think. Yeah, I'm definitely fine with it. I would a little bit rather have the Crobat in the active, like I was saying. I'd rather just be okay, KO my Crobat, thank you. But if it's gonna go this way as well, it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. I don't think. But I mean, it could go. I mean, it still could go poorly being having the Articuno in the active, but I think this is probably gonna be okay. We'll see. But yeah, here comes the ping. Here comes a Scoop Up Net. Do they have a rare candy? No, they're probably just going to go into the Drizzile. They could have rare candy here, actually. They could get the KO here then, actually, if they have the rare candy play. Or candy out, quick shooting here again. But yeah, they're getting the Drizzile. I guess they could still go get the candy here and go candy knockout. That would still work for my opponent. We'll see if they've got that. I guess there's a couple different plays they could have here. But yeah, my Articuno looks like it is going down here. Well, maybe not. They could still whiff a basic Pokemon. I guess, yeah, all they need is a basic Pokemon, to be honest. But it looks like Quick Ball probably for another Suicune, and they're doing 120, 200. So yeah, they'll be KOing my Articuno here. They might have whiffed, like I said, they could have KO'd this, but like the reason I didn't want to send this thing up is if they have the Candy Ludicolo hit. I want to like knock out their active. I want to take away their attacker when I attack with this. So that way they need that much more on their turn to actually have a response to this. You know, they need the Melanie, they need the attachment. Maybe they can't get off the Candy. Oh my gosh, they have a research to go with the hand as well. That's pretty good. Okay, well, maybe they will have literally everything. Maybe they will just have everything. I was hoping that was like the end of their turn. But these Inteleon turns, they always take so long, it feels like. And then all of a sudden, like, your opponent has that much extra. You're just like, whoa, okay, I didn't expect all of that. Here comes the Blizzard. All right, we're going with the Zacian V-Union. Will it be enough to handle the wrath, the fury of the Ludicolo? I don't know. Our opponent's very set up. They've got a very big hand. So we're going to go with the Zacian V-Union swing this turn and just kind of hope that it's going to be enough to kind of break through and get ourselves ahead in this one at this point. Our top deck is a Marnie. Believe it or not, a Marnie. Wow, look at that. A draw supporter. So I kind of just want to grab the Articuno to put that in play, to have that as an option, and then play the Marnie. We're really looking for the Bronzong. Seems fine. The Marnie is great here, though, because it does disrupt my opponent's hand. We still might use Crobat with this last bench space. I don't want to. I don't want to fill up my bench if I don't have to, but we really need the Bronzong. There it is. All right. Looking good. Could reconstitute. We also get the attachment return, which is good. I'm really low on switch cards. But I could get rid of the Stadium and the Air Balloon because they probably don't play either of those. I could get rid of the Familiar Bell, actually, and the Stadium. So let's go with that. That actually makes way more sense. So let's get rid of those two. Another cave. All right, we get the big one-hit KO here, and that is the most important thing. And I think I will leave one energy back on this station, just in case they get the one-hit KO on my active, which is possible. I know it seems like a lot, but it's definitely doable from my opponent. Yeah, big knockout here, 340 right through the cape of my opponent. And we'll get that knockout. Let's go ahead and get some prize cards. Research is perfect. We needed a draw supporter or something to do. Obviously, Boss also looks pretty good here, but we don't have the energy to really support a Boss play in the current hand. So, like, top deck into Crobat could get us there. My opponent is hard sending up the Suicune, though. How many Metal Saucer do we have? We have 3 Metal Saucer left. So, theoretically, we can get, over the next 2 turns, we could get 5 energy in play. That'd be 3 here, 2 here, which is enough to go to back-to-back knockouts on Suicunes. So, we are set up here to actually be able to win the game potentially before our opponent with, yeah, back-to-back knockouts on Suicunes. We could set that up. We would need to draw all of our Metal Saucers. Not next turn, but over the next 2 turns. Or something like that. We still have, you know, we'll have to reconstitute every single turn as well as a Crobat. There's another Crobat in the deck that we could utilize as well. And they're the Suicunes. They're in play for us to, you know, chase down or knock out or whatever. So that is good as well. They're there, ready for us to take knockouts on. And we could even attack with Brave Blade next turn if they don't put a Cape of Toughness down. Because otherwise, if they put the Cape of Toughness down on the following turn, then we'd have to find the Tool Scrapper. So I might go with a knockout on... When I swing with Zacian next turn, go Air Balloon Zacian swing, because that way I just know I don't need the Tool Scrapper maybe throughout the whole game. Whereas if I attack with this one next turn, if I use the Master Blade next turn, then they knock out my Zacian V Union on the following turn. Then on the turn after that, if they do get down the Cape of Toughness, I will need to find the Tool Scrapper, which I might see my whole deck by then, or can maybe have access to my whole deck by then, but we don't know for sure. And also, I might need to use Boss to take a knockout. And if I do want to use Boss to take a knockout, oh no, the Raihan play coming from my opponent. So they'll have access to the Ludicolo for sure. So they'll be doing 120, 200, 300 damage, I believe. Oh no, so that's 120, 220, 300. They're going to be doing 300 damage. So maybe I shouldn't have benched this Articuno. So to force them to have double quick shooting. But 1 quick shooting plus Ludicolo will be enough to knock us out. No, the Zacian V Union might be going down here. They haven't done it yet. So they might not have it. They might not have it here. But I mean, if I'm playing Raihan on my turn, that's what I'm trying to set up. So let's see if they have the Ludicolo. If they do, it will be enough to knock us out, which will be really sad. Then our response just has to be, yep, there's the Ludicolo. So maybe I just shouldn't have benched this Articuno, because then they would need double quick shooting, which they wouldn't be able to get this turn without like Candy quick shooting as well. And like, that's just way harder to pull off. Okay, they get the knockout. Goodbye, Zacian. So sad. So we can swing with this Zacian this turn. It's going to be our move here. Try and get this Zacian swing off. Brave Blade knockout, and then Brave Blade knockout that Suicune. V on the bench, so we need some saucers here. I'm going to send up the Articuno V to put the Air Balloon on. Maybe I should put the Air Balloon here, to be honest. No, because we have to have this on the bench to work with. Losing a Boss here doesn't feel great, but it's not that big of a deal. Ideally, I just don't want to bench anything else if I can avoid it. There's an extreme... lot of energy in the hand, an extreme lack of metal saucers. Okay, all right. I don't want a Crobat. Like I said, don't want to put anything else down because they're doing 120, 182. So yeah, I mean, double quick shooting currently KOs me anyways. So this is just bad all around. I feel like we're not getting out of this one with the dub. But it might come to be my own fault for how I played that last turn by even benching this Articuno V to begin with. How big of a mistake is that going to end up being? How much is that going to cost me? Looks like it might cost me a lot here. Need that Metal Saucer. I'm going to grab this Crobat. I can't afford to give up the energy. I think I actually have to give up the Marnie here. I'm not going to take anything. They're doing 120. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess maybe I should just take something at this point because they just KO me no matter what if they just have the Melanie play. And no Metal Saucer. No. What a way to go down here. Yeah, we whiff the Metal Saucer. Goodness. Goodness. Take another Zacian, but I don't think it matters here. Like, I can retreat to a Zacian to stall for a turn, but I think it's a little bit too late. Intrepid Sword. Yeah, my opponent's doing 280 damage. And then from there, where do I even go? I don't think I have an out here to win. They're doing not 280, doing 180. And they have one quick shooting. That's 200. So if they just get another quick shooting online, yeah, that's just game. That's just game over. Scoop up net, quick shooting. They don't even have to win this turn, to be honest. They could win next turn as well. Oh, that actually KOs. Did I just miscount? 120? Yeah, 200, 220. Oh, no. I miscounted. Yeah, they had it the whole time. Well, I mean, I guess we really did need to take the knockout then. All right. An L here in the last one. But yeah, that's it for Zacian v Union. It's a super fun deck to kind of play around with. Obviously, it's not ridiculously competitive. But super cool deck, super cool cards, the V Unions are. So if you guys are looking for something fun to play with in the Pokemon trading card game, not super competitive, some fun. If you guys are going to have some fun, try out the V Unions, man. I'll be coming out with videos on the Greninja and the Mewtwo soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you did, give it a like. If you enjoyed the content and you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.